Where's Bob Cole? He's here. We're good.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Colonial Yards for today's Suburban 1 Liberty Division game between the Plymouth Whitemarsh Colonials and the Quakertown Panthers. In honor of National Teacher Appreciation Week, the Colonials are proud today to recognize educators from across the Colonial School District for the dedication and commitment they provide each day to improve the lives of our students. We know that the past few years have been challenging for education, and through some of the most difficult moments, it has been our teachers who help students to continue striving for success and overcoming so many unforeseen obstacles. For today's game, each of our seniors was given the opportunity to invite a teacher who has had a positive impact on their life and helped to provide an enriching experience throughout their years in the Colonial School District. At this time, let's meet these all-star teachers. Our first teacher is Mr. Bob Cope, invited today by Pat Hughes. Pat says, Mr. Cope is one of my favorite teachers because he has the most entertaining classes and always keeps a joking environment in his room. Ladies and gentlemen, Plymouth Whitemarsh High School Social Studies teacher, Mr. Bob Cope. Our next teacher is Senora Jen Brotman, invited by first baseman Alex Smith. Alex says, I had Senora for 4 separate classes at Plymouth Whitemarsh. I was always happy to see that I had her as a teacher each year. I loved learning about the Hispanic culture and units such as art and music. I also have memorable moments in the class, such as the 2 food days we had where we had to cook a Spanish dish and bring it into class and eat. Ladies and gentlemen, Plymouth Whitemarsh High School Spanish teacher, Senora Jen Brotman. Our next teacher is Mr. Jim Carr, invited by outfielder Joe Redmond. Joe says, Mr. Carr always knew how to balance learning with fun. He would always find ways to make my day or put a smile on my face, even if I was not feeling the best. He always made sure to put me first before the content, and he always strived to not only be a better teacher, but a better person towards me. Mr. Carr has created countless memories in class that will always resonate. Even to this day, he always goes out of his way to say hello and make sure everything is good. It is impossible to try to hide a smile whenever I see Mr. Carr because he always reminds me of the good things in life. I want to thank Mr. Carr for all the important lessons he has taught me and for being himself. Ladies and gentlemen, Plymouth Whitemarsh High School Social Studies teacher, Mr. Jim Carr. Our next teacher is Mrs. Barb Duda, invited by infielder Dominic DiCercio. Dom says, Mrs. Duda has made sure I have everything I need to achieve in the classroom and in life. She always checks on me to make sure I'm doing all right, and she is always there to give advice. Ladies and gentlemen, Plymouth Whitemarsh High School teacher, Mrs. Barb Duda. Our next teacher is Mr. Kevin Golibeski, invited by pitcher Ray Tomasetti. Ray says, Mr. G has had a special impact on my high school experience. Even though I never listened to his advice to become a state champion swimmer in 9th grade, he continued to believe in me in all my academic, athletic, and extracurricular activities. Mr. G always seems to be in a good mood. His kind heart and exciting personality have been inspirational and uplifting to me, especially on days where school was the last place I wanted to be. I am appreciative of everything Mr. G has done and feel lucky to have built a strong relationship with him, and more importantly, a friendship as well. The world needs more people like Mr. G. Thank you, Mr. G. Ladies and gentlemen, Plymouth Whitemarsh Health and Physical Education teacher, Mr. Kevin Golibeski. Next is Mr. Chris Monero, invited by infielder Jesse Jakonski. Jesse says, Mr. Monero is a teacher who has been by my side and has had my back since my first day at Plymouth Whitemarsh. Not only has he been my has he been my 12th grade teacher, he has been by my side through every step I have made in high school. Mr. Monero and I have a relationship where I'm able to go to him and tell him anything without judgment. He has supported me on the field, in the classroom, and off the field with my outside life. He has helped me navigate through my high school journey. I know I can always count on him when I need him. He has truly made my high school experience everything I wanted when I first came to PW. He gave me the opportunities and friendships that could last a lifetime. Thank you for everything. Ladies and gentlemen, Plymouth Whitemarsh High School Social Studies teacher and varsity baseball coach, Mr. Chris Monero. Next is Miss Melissa Downer, invited by pitcher Alex Wilkie Vicio. Alex says, Miss Downer has been my avid teacher for my entire time in high school, and I want to start off by saying every single student should have a favorite teacher like her. She has made all the hard times throughout high school so much better. She is my #1 supporter in the classroom by always making me the best student I could possibly be. She pushes me to take more advanced classes, even when I thought at certain times I wouldn't be able to do it. She always sees the best in me. Coming into her class every other day is never a burden. I can always be my goofy, crazy self around her. We are always laughing and joking around with each other, which can be the highlight of my day. I'm going to soak up all the time we have left in high school together because I am seriously going to miss her when I'm off at college. There are endless amounts of more things I can talk about, but since we have a baseball game to get to, I'll stop here. Huge, super special thank you to Miss Downer for being my favorite and best teacher throughout my school career. Ladies and gentlemen, Plymouth Whitemarsh English teacher, Miss Melissa Downer. And our final honoree this afternoon is Mrs. Michelle Stingle, invited by catcher Michael Miller. Mike says, I chose Mrs. Stingle because she was always there for me when I needed extra help. She was very helpful and a great teacher to me in middle school. Ladies and gentlemen, Colonial Middle School teacher, Mrs. Michelle Stingle. At this time, please give a final round of applause to our Colonial School District All-Star teachers. We now ask all fans to please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem.